Welcome back, guys, to Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, as we're wondering what we have not done to make a certain reporter appear at a detention center. With that said, I was wondering exactly what we really need to do here. Obviously, we've got to present something to someone else because we've got 4 conversation dialogue options for every person that we can talk to currently. So there must be some information or an update we need on something or other. That said, the most likely thing we need an update on at the moment, which is why I've come here, is the Grammaire envelope. Envelope for Mr. Wright, do not open until the time is right. Mainly because, to be honest, if Valant's here and he did it, which is very unlikely to be honest, he might know what the signature on the back is that we checked out before. So let's present that and see if that's what we needed to do. I was wondering if you could tell me about this. Haha, why, that bears the Grammaire seal. It does indeed, thank you. Uncle Valant, is something wrong? Trucy, where did you get this? Daddy gave it to me. Your daddy? Gamer? No. My other daddy, Phoenix Wright. Zach Grammaire. Why now? Why would your Lord Daddy... Lord Daddy? That's kind of stretching the whole archaic thing a bit. This signature up on the back, do you recognize it? That belongs to none other than Zach Grammaire. What? Daddy signed this? Might I be so bold as to open it? I'm sorry, but I can't let you do that. What's in this envelope, I wonder? Now the time has come when I must return to make my prestidigitation preparations. I like how the music started for a second there. By your leave, Miss Trucy. Thanks, Uncle Valant. 3 days from now, make ready for a miracle. What do you think that journalist was after? And why did Valant react like that to this envelope? I think it's time to pay the detention center another visit. Finally! Okay, we got the actual trail of things we were supposed to do. That's the only thing I can look through and go, well, this is related. Maybe we can find out the signature. The signature is an important part. However, it seems he doesn't really want it being around, is what I'd say. He's wondering what's in it. Because if he has a will... Do you know what I mean? And if that is a will, he can't perform this trick. The Grammaire miracle will not be his. I can understand why he panicked then for a second. Right. Well, that said... It's now off to the detention center. Let's meet our erstwhile reporter man. Yes, we've found the final bit to do. I think I hear what you're saying. We're all doing it for the money. End quote. I don't know what this guy will be like. What voice will I use? No, not at all. Looks like someone's already meeting here. Maybe that reporter? Hey there, how you doing? Who might you be? Sorry. We didn't know someone was already here. Apollo Justice, attorney at law. Talk about a nervous monkey. You're Justice, you? You know me? Do I know you? Of course I know you! Stares down witnesses on stand till they spill beans. End quote. That's not true. What's he writing? Are you a reporter by any chance? Woo, you're Trucy! Am I famous? Oh yeah! Trucy Wright hates carrying a bag. Puts everything she owns in her panties. End quote. Well, it's kind of true. Yeek, that's so not true. Just hold on to your breeches there. I'll wrap up this interview in a jiffy. Interview? So, guard, I think I know what's going on here. Guarding rooms is my life. What else could I possibly need? End quote. No, how many times do I have to tell you this? Look, I've got work to do. You deal with him. Did you come here to interview the guard? Ooh-wee, what a pickle. Accused wouldn't talk. Had to interview someone or go plumb crazy, end quote. Huh? I should have guessed. Where are my manners? Name's Brushel, Spark Brushel. I'm not picky. Journalist just closes eyes, writes. End quote. What's that nauseatingly strong mint smell every time he grins? Does he really brush the hell out of those things, maybe? Those gums look red raw. Until you've been whoa, the red in his mouth now is catching me by surprise. Until you've been interviewed by me, you don't know what frilling is! Wild run through crossroads of mayhem. Madness. End quote. I can see that. He's writing something again. Well, if he's a reporter, maybe he knows something. Right, let's talk to you, you person who's got a feather in his pocket. Is that related? And toothbrush. Why is there a feather? Is that a feather? A comb? Spark Brushel, who are you really? So, Mr. Brushel, you're a journalist? Me! Look, let me state one thing for the record here. Yes? I'm the interviewer. You understand, yeah? I'm the one asking the questions here. End quote. Okay. For instance, you think a movie director watches movies? Well, I think he probably does. Exactly! I knew you'd understand. Huh? That was helpful. So, the night of the murder, you were at Drew's studio. Who? Me? Look, let me state one thing for the record. Yes? I may look calm and collected, but I'm busy, real busy, always on the road. Journalist always buys one-way tickets, never looks back. End quote. I can understand that philosophy, but you want another thing about one-way tickets? Once you use them, they're gone. All because you have to give them to the guy at the airport. True enough. But don't they give normal tickets away too? Exactly! See, it's the same thing! What is? Okay, the interview. Tell me more. Please, actually tell me something. So you went to do a story on Drew Misham. And he'd never had a story done about him before? That's right! Look, let me state one thing here for the record here. What? I'm sure you're going to want to know about my source. What tipped me off to Drew? Why do the interview in the first place? Well, yes. Look, it's like... Oh, I've got it. Say there's this burger joint with fabulous ketchup. You think the burger guy's going to tell me where he got it? At the supermarket, maybe? Exactly, see? That's what I'm talking about! I think I may have actually understood that one. Well, there's nothing I can talk about, really. Walls have ears, eyes, especially glass walls with speakers. End quote. I thought that was her talking. Weirdly enough. Then realised that I messed it up midway through. Right, guess we'll leave then. Yes, bye. Guess we'll leave then. Yes. But since you're here, might as well tell you a tidbit of news I saw, just for the heck of it. Sure, tell us, just for the heck of it. I remember it like it was yesterday. I seen a movie on a trip and wandered into this burger place with amazing ketchup when an article in a tabloid caught my eye. Famous oil painting stolen from art dealer's gallery, end quote, I believe it was. An oil painting? Happens every day, right? But I thought I'd seen that painting somewhere before. A painting of a giant peach floating down a river. Someone stole an oil painting? Of a giant peach? Journalists can smell scoop better than burgers. End quote. Right, when you say about this, do you mean... this? Ah, right, let me go on the record here. Yes? I know what you're going to say. Brushel, take this. Write brilliant column. End quote. I don't think so. Look, buddy, I write brilliant columns about one thing. And that's food. Try to understand. What could he possibly be writing? He didn't listen to a word I said. Right, you didn't mean this one then. I don't know what necessarily to present to you, but did you do the coffee? Okay. Never mind. Go away, guy. Okay, he's not going to answer in regards to the coffee. What else could he be talking about? No. Do we need a fourth conversation option for you, or have you opened up new things yourself? Let's try the actual landscape painting here. No. He talks about the peachy thing, and then you didn't want it at all. Well, if that's that for now, I'm going to move somewhere else just to see if anything else is happening. Thank you. How do we get another talky dialogue for him? Well, how'd it go? Find anything out? Actually, there was one thing I wanted to check with you. What's with that scary face you're making? And what's with the I know something but I'm not telling face you've got going, Emma? Right, you've doing something else now? Oh, no. Oh, okay, I get it. Of course, I kind of want to present this, I guess, considering it was our last topic of conversation, and she might know more about it. This painting came from behind that dresser. Ah, yes, so? It was stolen, no? I was hoping you wouldn't figure that out. Do you think you could tell us a bit about this? I suppose. It's what you think. Drew Misham was a forger. A forger? Well, we're into music now. Stolen paintings, duplicating them over there. Do you know what I mean? It was kind of obvious in some senses that that might be the case. Obviously a talented one, that's for sure. So what exactly is a forger? Well, basically it's someone who makes forgeries. Fakes, in other words. Fakes? Copies of an original. Exact copies. So precise you can't tell them apart. Well, why not just photocopy them? The big problem with forgeries is that people try to sell them as the real article. It's a crime, of course. So Drew Misham was a criminal? I'm afraid so. He received money to create elaborate forgeries. To supplement his work in illustration, I guess. I see. Actually, that's why I brought this here in the first place. What do you mean? When you're trying to determine if a painting is a forgery, the rough sketch underneath can be a valuable clue. So the rough sketch is like practice for the real thing. Like doing a magic trick in front of a mirror before you go on stage. But not in the case of a forgery. Not necessarily, anyway. You know what the finished product is going to look like after all, so you don't need to sketch it out. So there wouldn't be the original pencil marks. Oh, yeah, I guess you would. That's why I brought this. I'm going to use it to see what's under the paint of the finished pieces. I get it now. Not that I really needed to go to such lengths, seeing as how one of the paintings was only half finished anyway. Still, it'd be neat to see Mr. Misham's rough sketches. Kind of like what he was drawing when he thought no one was looking. True, that would be interesting, maybe valuable for our case. But more to the point, we kind of 100% know that the sketching on the other piece of art on the right hand side there does not match at all. And if a forgery doesn't need sketching, then what is under that? Just try buttering up, Apollo. Flattery will get you everywhere, they say. You just trying to fix us together? Me and Emma? Apollo and Emma, I mean. That's a bit weird. Maybe I should ask Emma to help us out. Of course we should. Right, so let's present this one. I kind of wanted to see the rough sketch under this painting. And I was wondering if your tool there might do the trick. Oh, fine, fine. Just this time, though. Let's check it out. Just this time, eh? I was asking us if we can do any of them if we want to. Let's do this one first. Right. Let us start to unwind. This will take a little bit of time, that's for sure. Especially if it wants me to do all the paintings. First of all, I gotta figure out if I can grab the wheel well enough. I have to look down at the gamepad, whereas most of the time I'm looking at the computer screen for my data. Is this the whole thing or just a tiny segment? Well, now it's coming into view a bit more. Hello. Okay, let's print this one out. Okay. What? What the heck? Wow, he really blows. The finished painting isn't anything like the rough. Devices like mine didn't exist until recently. He probably thought he could draw any sort of thing he wanted to for the rough. What do you mean? Well, in the past, you could only analyze the composition of a rough sketch. Composition? In other words, the traces of charcoal between paint and canvas. So you could tell if there had been a rough sketch. But not what it looked like. Ah, I think I follow you. So in essence, it wouldn't matter what was underneath the finished painting. Some pros would actually paint out a rough sketch entirely, and then do a completely new painting on top of that. So Mr. Misham was drawing whatever he wanted before painting over them? Possibly. Is there a problem with that? Not particularly, but something about the sketch itself is kind of odd. You're awfully silent all of a sudden, Apollo. You think we could check out whoa, one of the other paintings? Apollo's straight in there. Well, sure. You like this detection stuff, don't you? Well, yes. If it's going to reveal handy things for me, then sure. What's not to like? Just I wish you could press a button and take a picture of all this, you know? Rather than rubbing a screen. Gotta use our touchscreen features, guys. We got a building. Wait! Okay, let's print this one out. What the hell is going on? This one too! What's wrong, Apollo? You look so serious all of a sudden. You think I could just look at the last of these? Fine by me. Knock yourself out. Well, let me guess. It's the main scenes. So what I'm expecting to see here... Would anyone like some borscht? I know a great place to get it. What have I missed? What tiny segment have I missed? There we go. Okay, let's print this one out. What the heck is all this? I hesitate to ask why you're getting so excited. You sure your device isn't leaking some kind of strange radiation? Trucy, look at these free sketches. Do you notice anything? Nah! There! Now you're both white as sheets. What's going on? These sketches are the free cases I worked on. What? The murder in the poker room at the Borscht Bowl Club. The dead man pulling the noodle stand. And then... the events that transpired during the Governor's concert. What could it mean? How could he have painted those things? And why? That's what I want to know. Wait, is Drew Misham your father? Give me a break. Does that seem even remotely possible to you? I've never even heard of any Drew Misham before. I hadn't even seen a picture of him. But there were my cases, drawn on his canvas. Every single one of them. It couldn't have been a coincidence. Just who was this Drew Misham? And what did he have to do with me? Well, it says to be continued at this point in time. And normally I would end it maybe about now. But I say, let's keep going. Would have been a great cliffhanger though. Gotta say, yes. That's why the game laid it out that way. Right, to court we go. Now completely confused. Good morning. So, you're Vera, right? I'm Trucy Wright. That's right, with a W. But not right, right? We're on your side. You can tell us anything. Please? Good morning. She speaks. Not bad. But I think you do better with a little smile, you know? You're so pretty. You need to sell yourself, you know? Trucy, let's take it easy for starters. Not everyone likes to smile, you know. Thank you for taking my case. Okay, well, that's a start, I guess. There she goes with the nail polish again. That's great, really. It's so cultured. Want to try? Oh, really? Girls. The victim, Drew Misham, was a forger, and a stolen painting was found in his studio. A life of crime, really. And maybe one that led to his death. Indeed. But we want to know more, except he's dead, so... Why were the pictures of our cases past? Of course you'd be across from me. Because if they want the trial to work properly, it makes sense to have two people there who want to find the truth. If Phoenix is choosing, who would he choose? The Clavier Gavin. Well, we will now begin the trial of Drew Misham. Is the judge okay? His voice is all raspy and he's looking around all nervous like. The repercussions of today's trial will most likely be felt for a long time, and may indeed alter our legal system forever. Today is a test of the jurist system, and the first step toward a new order in our courts. Daddy's secret mission! The jurists will function like a jury. It is hoped their inclusion will help the courts to better reflect the people's will. Why aren't there any jurists in the courtroom? 3 closed-circuit cameras watch this courtroom at all times. The jurists have access to everything that transpires. Jurists, judge well and judge cool. And now see here, Prosecutor Gavin. I was going to say that. My apologies, Herr Judge. Jurists, today, judge today's trial coolly, if you would be so kind. The jurists are unbound by the letter of the law. They don't affect the trial with evidence, but by their feelings. And we're about to find out just what effect they're going to have. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. The details of the case, if you would. The victim is the painter Drew Misham. He was killed in his own studio. His coffee was poisoned. By whom, you ask? By none other than the defendant, Drew Misham. There wasn't any poison in the coffee. Achtung! Someone has been doing their homework. Indeed, poison was not present in the coffee, but on the mug itself. The mug? Residue was found on the rim, I see. The autopsy report describes the manner of our victim's death. The court accepts this as evidence. Alright, Misham's autopsy report has been added. According to this report, the victim's death was caused by atroquinine poisoning. A chemical compound that does not occur naturally. Lethal dosage is a mere 0.002 milligrams. A touch of atroquinine in the body is the touch of the Reaper's scythe. Very well. Prosecutor Gavin, you may present your witness. I have for you today a simple man for a simple case. A man who witnessed the murder in its entirety. That journalist, no doubt. The witness will state his name and occupation. Right. Well, for starters, my name's Spark Brushel. My job is a lone observer of the world. In other words, a freelance journalist, right? If you don't mind, I'd like to state something here for the record. Yes, Mr. Brushel. I dislike conclusions, specifically the jumping to aspect of conclusions. Preconceptions make park sandbox of endless desert waste. End quote. But you are a journalist. You said so yourself yesterday. Well, that's true, yes. But you must understand, I stand before you today a man with a dream. I'm offering you my testimony in exchange for exclusive rights to the story. Scoop turns Mr. Brushel into that Mr. Brushel, end quote. Let's hear your testimony then, shall we? A simple case, eh, Gavin? For me, the jury is still out. Haha, internal puns. I visited the studio around 9 that night to do the interview. The first outsider to enter the atelier. Journalistic history made, end quote. His daughter brought us coffee right after we started. And you know what happened next? Star falls, end quote. What does that mean? No one else entered the room beside her the whole time. What the hell was... Know what they say, star falls? I've not heard that idiom.
That does sound like a simple case. Unless you were the one who poisoned him.
What are you saying, Judge?
And need I remind you the cameras are rolling today? I felt the need to be a bit dramatic. You didn't do it, did you?
Me do a thing like that? Come on, that's like newsmaker making the news, end quote. Or even contemporary witch hunt, end quote. I know, wild accusations drop courtroom, end quote.
Rock indeed.
Prosecutor Gavin sure looks like he's having fun. I'm so happy for him.
Very well, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination, please.
Give me your story. Well, let me press you on the point. I visited the studio around 9 that night to do the interview. 9 at night? Isn't that a little late for an interview? If the great painter Drew Misham says come at 9, believe you me, I go at 9. The first and as it turned out last interview was such a prolific painter. Right, can you tell us what it was like when you arrived? The first outsider to enter the atelier. Journalistic history made, end quote. You were the first reporter ever in Drew's studio. Posterity will look back on that night as a turning point in journalistic history. A basically insignificant step for all mankind, but a giant step for that Brushel guy, end quote. If no one on the outside ever had access to the studio, then it was served to reason that the deed was done by an insider, by which he means Vera did it. So, how did this epoch-making interview go? His daughter brought us coffee right after we started. Would you mind being a little more specific? Like, why didn't she poison you too, witness? Oh, let me tell you, I enjoy a cuppa. In fact, it all began when I was in 3rd grade. No, wait, 4th grade? That's not what I meant. I believe I know what Herr Forehead is driving at. This coffee the victim was served. Did anyone other than the defendant touch it? Right, that's what I was going to say, really. Well, now, if you've got a question to ask, you best straight up ask it. That's what I tell all the new recruits several times, if necessary. Write for a grade schooler. That's my motto. Which isn't to say I can only write grade school level stuff, but mind you, who touched the coffee? Dunno. I was in the back, looking at the studio's equipment when she served it. And what happened next? And you know what happened next? Star Falls, end quote. Oh, you're calling him the star. Okay, I get it now. Kinda. What's this about a star falling? Star falls, huh? It's like an old telegram. Send money over. Zowie, you don't know? That's like a journalism code word. An important personage passes away. A star falls. Get it? There's no gravity in space, is there? I wouldn't think stars could fall, really. Does this matter? Oh boy, this is good stuff, good stuff. How about star breaks? Nah, lacks punch. I know, star dies. Nah, lacks imagination. Of course you could go with Drew dies. Straight to the point, I like it. I think we need to hear about something a little more substantial. Oh, really? We get to learn more. The moment of death, the star's coffee, or Brushel's coffee. The moment of death. There's so many here that I could actually want information on, so I might have to hear this testimony multiple times. About when Mr. Misham passed away. Oh boy, what a scene that was! He puts his coffee mug down with a crash, right?
Yes, and then?
And the cold finger of death touches his spine. Life's flame sputters and fails. So cold was that touch, he could do naught but tremble uncontrollably. Actually, life's flame is a little tired. Life's river froze over? Yes, that's a go. I think he's starting his article already. Could you describe that a little more simply? Well, as you can imagine, I was pretty surprised. Hear the floor, as they say. Artist teacher is final performance. End quote. Atropine paralyzes the central nervous system. The body arches back like a bow, the limbs tremble, the throat burns.
That's quite enough of that. Some of us want to be able to sleep tonight.
Oh yeah, well I want details, lots of juicy details.
That you can listen to our last year's hit single, Atroquinine, My Love, by the Gaviners, available at all major music outlets. The point here is that the victim died of atroquinine poisoning. Well, Mr. Justice, how did you find that testimony?
Very important or not important? I don't actually know. In fact, it could be very important based on the fact that Do we actually have a marker or evidence or something like that? It was said, of course, that atroquinine takes 15 minutes to take effect. You couldn't drink that and instantly drop. Which is probably the important thing. Well, as an account of the moment of the victim's death, I'd say it's very important. Please add it to the testimony.
Very well. The court requests the witness add this account to his testimony.
Those spasms, that was definitely death by poison. Well, we've got an extra bit of testimony for it. And one that's probably one to push, I don't know. But we will find out next time on Apollo Justice, for another episode ends as we continue to brush off Brushel's testimony. Or, well, get started on that. I'll see you next time for more. Bye-bye.